All right, we're with Coach Wheatley after a 31-24 win during the home opener here, 31-24 over Missouri S&T. Coach, first of all, congratulations on your first win here at Wayne State. Talk about that, but also talk about what you saw from the game today.
Well, it's a big win, big improvement on the guys. Biggest thing we did was just understanding the penalties, right, and the mental mistakes, cleaning that up, making sure that we didn't beat ourselves. And we knew this team was a really good team. They matched up really well with us because teams are identical, right? Very identical in what we do and how we want to play physical football. It's a physical team. But just seeing that what going in there is we just couldn't beat ourselves. I mean, as you saw, they stuck some things to us offensively and defensively. They got us. And I talked to the guys, those guys are on scholarship as well. They lift weights, they eat well, and, they're going to get their due. But what we can't do is we can't be Santa Claus. We got to be Scrooge, right?
Yeah, you talk about penalties, but let's talk about one of their penalties, that penalty on the field goal attempt that was missed. Seemed to be the turning point of the game, and how the momentum kind of carry over.
Well, you're going to get those. A lot of times, more oftentimes than not, you're on the other side of that penalty, right? But we talk about here the football gods, right? You get blessed, you got to make do with it, right? You get the blessing, and just that was a turning point in our momentum shift. But even before that, our defense goes out and get two critical stops. So, the defense did an incredible job, on both of those plays. The touchdown, reception on the touchdown by Tyrone, that was a defensive stop, right? So that was a turn swing. And then, like you say, come back on the penalty, which started that drive, that was defense as well.
You want to create an image here at Wayne State. In the last 10 years that I've been here, running the football has kind of been the big image here at Wayne State. Obviously, with your background, you want to run the football. Over 300 yards today on the ground. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it means a lot, right? It means a lot. You just basically want to get back to the thing of, running the ball, but it's how you run the ball. It's a physicality. It's a standard. It's also it's the standard, right? It's just what you do and how you do it. No matter how you play football, whether it be NFL, college, or high school. I always say this: John Elway didn't win the Super Bowl until he got Terrell Davis. I don't care how great the quarterback is. You don't get that until you get a good running back. Nowadays, with going back to the old school football, now running a quarterback, I mean, that's also running the ball. But it just takes a mentality. It just takes, like I say, it's just a standard. It's a standard operating procedure in what we do.
Old cliche, you always improve the most from your first game to the second game. What impressed you about what you improved the most from Slippery Rock last week to today?
Basically, still being able to play with the chip and stay within the foundation and the guidelines of what we're doing and not get the penalties. They still had the chip on their shoulder. They still went out and played through the echo of the whistle, right? We're not going to back down to anybody. You push us, we're going to punch you. That's just how I am. If we fight one fight, we all fight, okay? So these guys did a great job of staying within those confines and playing hard, and like I said, just not getting the penalties.
What do you believe were the team's strengths and weaknesses in today's game?
The strengths were, once again, mental. The mental preparation. I told the guys this game will be won before we even take a snap. And like I said, we cut down on mental mistakes and the mental errors. We didn't go out and beat ourselves. That was the biggest focal point right there, and that was our strength. When our weaknesses were, in all honesty, I really couldn't say there was a weakness. Defensively, we missed some calls. Just was maybe a second or step late, so we have to get the eyes right on the defense. Offensively, they were going to do a great job of giving us pressure, and I would say, if I had to give one, it would be we didn't handle the pressure that well.
Now, there was a slight injury, player 44. Was it a serious injury or was it just?
I think he returned to the game. I don't know the extent or the to what the injury was, and I really don't want to release that one. If that makes sense to you, if you're okay with that one, yeah. But he did return, and I think he'll be okay.
Now, today was the first home game of the season. Do you think there was any added pressure or excitement during today's game?
we don't look at it. There's no such thing as pressure. You know, we like I said, we built for this. We love this. Now, the excitement, yes. The excitement, yes. There was some excitement because you want to play in front of your home crowd. You want to build you want to build things into a crescendo. You want people to go home and say, hey, it was a great game. You should come next week. I mean, really didn't look, but there was some empty spots out there, right? I want that thing filled. I want to create a 12th man. But yeah, it was an exciting moment. It was really exciting. I mean, it was a big win for Wayne State.
All right, now, last question. Do you have any personal goals for the upcoming season?
My personal goals is, and I haven't really shared this with many, but I'll share with you since the season has started. And I just told that my personal goals are the same as the teams, and that's, we call it master your domain and stay in your lane. So for me, meaning I just want to master being a head coach and getting this culture right. And so for me, it's nothing else, right? I mean, just getting this culture. And so for me to stay in my lane is I have to let my AD handle her job. I have to let everybody else handle their job, and I just have to stay here and make sure that the culture on this team is put in place and grow these young men and being able for them to take it over. So do I put a number on the season? No. Because if the guys can do that, they can master their domain, the wins will come. Like we talked about the penalties, they mastered that, right? So master your domain and then just stay in your lane, and the wins will come and everything will stack.
Talk about the play of both your quarterbacks. I thought, from my perspective, Jaden and Eli both did some good things today.
Yeah, they did both. They both did some good things. I just wish I could have back to Eli trying to make a play, trying to throw the ball back over the middle. He almost gave us an interception. However, once again, they played within the system, right? Letting the system take care of itself. Master the system. Don't try. And I tell people this all the time. Michael Jordan never tried to take over a game. People say, what you mean he never tried to take over a game? He let the game come to him. And he mastered those situations. And so when it was time to go, he was so far superior than those in those situations. LeBron James the same way. He don't take over the game. It's when that situation occurs, he's just so much better than everybody else in those situations. And that's where my quarterbacks were able to play so well. They just played within the system and they played the situation. And they were on point today.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
No,
congratulations again, and get on next week. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
All right, Tavion, first of all, congratulations on the win today. Just your overall thoughts about going out there for the home opener and getting a win.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought win. It was just a big team win. So it was just everybody just rallied and made the plays that we were supposed to make, and it was a good win.
I know you're trying to change the culture here at Wayne State, the new coaching staff, a lot of new players and everything. But how does a win like this today kind of build on that as we go toward the season?
Honestly, it just showed us like we could do it. We could win. So now that we won, we just want to take that win and build off of it. We had a lot of mistakes that we could build off. So we just want to keep building off our mistakes.
You did have some mistakes, but you scored 31 points. Pretty good offense all day, playing with two quarterbacks. How has that been going? Because I thought both those guys
it's pretty good. So you got Jaden Waddle and Eli McClain. So they both good quarterbacks, and they both do what they do. So it's just they good for what they do.
All right, so what do you think were the key factors that contributed to the team's success today?
Today, honestly, it was a mental game. Like, last week, I feel like we was tough, we played hard, but I feel like mentally we wasn't there. This week, I feel like we had a lot more penalties, and we were just more locked in and made no mental mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Now, it was the first home game of the season. How did the crowds, like, excitement and, impact you guys?
It was huge because, like, if you make a play or something, you hear the crowd just yelling, it just make you just want to make another play and just keep making plays. So the crowd for sure did a big justice for us.
And what do you feel like were the team's and yourself's strengths and weaknesses today?
I feel like our strengths was just like I said earlier, mentally, like we mentally played real good. Like everything the coaches said, we just made it happen. So, and then weaknesses, like we just took a dub, so we don't even want to talk about it.
Right.
Well, speaking of a positive, it was a tie game. You get that penalty on that missed field goal, and it seemed like the game turned around from that point. And in the last couple of years, it seems like when you go into the fourth quarter close or tied, it hasn't been going Wayne State's way. So what's going to be the difference this year to kind of carry off again with the way you guys played in the fourth quarter?
Just staying in. Like we have to fight for the whole 60 minutes. Like we just got to keep going. Like don't take our foot off the gas. As long as we keep our foot on the gas, we should be successful.
And how do you build off this win today, heading into a very tough team with UND next week on the road?
You just like I said earlier, like we take our positives and keep doing them. And any mistakes we made, we make them right, and just take a dub next week and just.
Congratulations again on the win. Good luck next week.
Thank you. Yeah. Have a good one.
Thank you, Tyrone.
All right, we're joined by Elijah Fowlkes. First of all, congratulations. First win of the season. How does it feel to get a win in the home opener today against a pretty good team?
Feels good. It was ugly, but it feels good to get our first dub of a new season, new coaching staff, and new team. It just feels good.
What was the mindset after last week? You played pretty well on the road, but lost to a really good team to come home with the home crowd. What was the mindset after that loss last week, and how did you build off that and learn from that going forward to the win today?
Same mindset. We seen a lot of improvement last week that we can take into the next week, and just it was really just a bounce back week, like bounce back from the loss and just be better this week.
Talk about the defense today. I thought you guys came up with a couple of really key stops, especially in the second half. Just talk about that and what it took to get them off the field a few times.
We call ourselves, especially in defensive school, so we know we gotta lean on the defense. Our offense is new, so we still learning the system. We just know we gotta be the core of the team, the defense. So that was every time was just defense. We gotta go get another stop. Defense get another stop. That's all it was.
I asked your head coach this and your teammate who just was in here a few minutes ago, but how big was that penalty on that missed field goal when the game was tied? Gave you guys a first down. It seemed like you were the better team, obviously, going forward after that play.
It was very big. Like special teams really play a key part into the game, and a penalty like that definitely boosted us.
So were there any like key moments or like turnovers that shifted the momentum in favor of the defense?
Chavez, that fumble recovery he had, it was real big. Like we needed that. We needed a turnover. He haven't had a turnover all game. That was a real big moment.
And so how did the communication and teamwork contribute to the success of today's game?
When anything happens, we just stay calm. Like we just come back, communicate whatever happens on the field, and no matter what, like touchdown, anything, we just know we gotta communicate and come back and be better.
Right. And so, how did the crowd, motivate you tonight?
It felt good. Like being at home is no better feeling than protecting the home field. So I feel like that energy is real good for us.
It's nice playing at home, but as being part of sports teams for my entire life now, it always feels better to get a win on the road. How do you do that next week against a really good UND team?
Just keep going. Like just build off of this W. We got a lot of stuff to fix, and we're gonna do that and go on the road and continue what we're doing right now.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.